Thomas Paine, Thomas Paine, Thomas Paine, Sam Adams, Sam Adams, Sam Adams, Benjamin Franklin, Benjamin Franklin, Benjamin Franklin. These men spoke up for what they thought was right. From their courage came such documents as the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution of the United States. From their willingness to speak what was sometimes unpopular but right, we enjoy such liberties as freedom of speech, the right to keep and bear arms, and freedom of religion. There are those who still wish to oppress our freedoms, and there are still patriots willing to stand up and defend life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Men like Zeb Bell, who honor our founding fathers and what they stood for. It's now time for Zeb at the ranch, speaking up and defending your freedoms. Brought to you by Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers and all of the other great advertisers on the program. And now, Zeb Bell.
The following statement is for Frosty Wooldridge in Colorado and all other health food addicts. This is how you should prepare tofu. First, put the tray of tofu on the kitchen counter. Second, back up, stare at it, and then throw it in the trash, grill some real meat, and enjoy life. Here we go with Kate Smith and God Bless America, followed by a patriot with our Pledge of Allegiance. Good morning. Good morning to you on a Thursday. Already the 11th day of January 2018. Zeb Bell, Zeb at the Ranch with our major sponsor, your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers. All 7 locations serving you for wintertime driving with the best of traction tires. Stop in and see them today, along with some of our great advertisers like Burley Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation. Hello, Nick and the crew at 1263 Bennett Avenue, Suite 2 in Burley. Right now, let's go to the phones and have our Pledge of Allegiance. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Hess, how are you?
Good. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Are you a tofu eater?
Well, you cook the tofu, throw it out, and eat the plate you cooked it on.
Well, yeah, if you can. Yeah, anything is better than that. I've tried that once, and never will try it once again.
I heard that.
Hey, buddy, thank you for your call.
Okay, I'll be calling back.
All right, I'll look forward to it. Thank you. Thank you. All right, let's go to the weather forecast brought to you by K&R Rental at 256 South, 600 West of Hayburn. Hello, Roger and the crew. And they're right there on the Burley-Paul Highway. And heaters. Now, I know you're saying, well, Zeb, it's getting up into the 40s. It's not. Yeah, but you know as well as I do that we're going to have winter hit us all of a sudden, just like a cold dish rag in the face. And then you're going to go, I wished I had those heaters ready to go. Well, they've got heaters of all kinds over there at K&R Rental. Don't forget they've got all the tools, all the equipment to finish any job, and the knowledge and the expertise to steer you in the right direction as to what you need. Get a hold of them today, 678-3122. Right now, here's Gina with the weather.
Expect a few more showers off and on throughout the day. Good Thursday morning. Here is your weather for Zeb at the Ranch. Yes, some isolated rain and or snow showers off and on throughout the day. Looking at mostly cloudy skies. A little bit on the breezy side as well. Winds out of the southwest by around 10 miles an hour. Gusts possible as high as 20 miles an hour. High of 44 is what we're looking at tonight. Scattered snow showers before midnight. Mostly cloudy skies. Going to be on the breezy side. Low right near 35. Tomorrow going to be nice. Partly sunny skies. High of 43 on the breezy side as well. Partly cloudy and 25 for tomorrow night. Saturday, mostly sunny skies, high of 40, and Sunday, mostly sunny and a high of 41. You have a good one. That's your weather.
Thank you, Gina. Great job. Brought to you by K&R Rental on the Burley Paul Highway. And just stop in. Whatever you need for a project. Maybe you're saying, well, we're going to get this done this weekend. Well, stop in. They've got all the tools and equipment. And like I said earlier, the expertise to kind of say, well, you need this. You might not need that, but you do need this. You stop in and talk to Roger and the crew today. Or give them a call at 678-3122. K&R Rental. Merv May, come on in here. Let's sell some cattle.
All right. Hey, good set of steer calves. They're here to get $31, 1.5, 31, 1.5, 32, 2.5, 3.
Oh, that's the chant of the world's best auctioneer, Merv May, over at the Burley Livestock Sale Yard, 1100 Occidental Avenue in Burley. Sale time today, 10 a.m. The sale that works for you, the Burley Livestock Sale Yard, with Merv May, Cade Rogge, and Lance Udy. Let's take a look at the run that we had from last night. And I'm sure they're going to have more numbers added onto it today. Skip Owens up at Glens Ferry, bringing in 80 head of 700-pound heifers. Rick and Chad Lee, known them for a long time. Over to Hanson, they are bringing in 45 head of yearlings. Carl and Earl Clayville over to Rupert. Hello, Clayvilles, how are you? 100 head of calves coming in. Joe Tate out of the Sequa, 80 head of 800-pounders, ripping good cattle. Oak Valley's bringing in 140 head of butcher cows. P-Bar S bringing in butcher cows. And Acme Dairy bringing in butcher cows. Sale time, 10 a.m. this morning. Don't miss it. Burley Livestock Sale Yard, 1100 Occidental Avenue in Burley. Merv, sell those steers.
All right. Hey, good set of steer calves. They're here to get $31, 1.5, 31, 1.5, 32, 2.5, 3.5, 134, 4.5, 5.5, 5.5, 135, 50, 135, sell them $35. Zeb Bell gets by.
I appreciate it, Merv. Thank you very, very much. I have a news item I want to put forth this morning. And you folks are hearing it first and foremost in my audience. We managed to get a hold of the Bundy family. And I am very, very honored that they are allowing us to be one of the first, if not the first, in an exclusive interview next Monday right here on Zeb at the Ranch at 10:06. We're going to have Ryan Bundy on our program. Like I said, an exclusive interview, and all holds are not barred because we're going to ask any and all questions. I had a very nice visit with him the last couple of days, and we've last night finalized everything, and we are going to have him on our program next Monday at 10:06, and he's going to be on for the entirety of that last hour, the 10 to 10:30 segment, and then 10:30 till about 10 to 11. That's Ryan Bundy from the Bundy family coming on our program next Monday to talk about ranching, BLM, federal, the courts, the prison, everything. Everything. That's next Monday. I want to remind you, too, I've got this frog in my throat that will not jump out and go back to the swamp, so I apologize for that. Ramsey Heating and Electric at 2600 Overland Avenue in Burley. All your heating, cooling, and electrical needs. That's not brag, that's a fact. They've got it all, they know about it all, and they can help you with it all. You be sure and get a hold of them today. Stop in at 2600 Overland Avenue in Burley. They're open 7:30 to 5, Monday through Friday, and the telephone number to give them a call, 678-0459. Once again, cool summers, warm winters. Ramsey Heating and Electric in Burley. You stop in and see them today. Want to also take a little time here to thank Thomas and the entire crew, well, actually both crews, at Denny's Restaurant, 2 locations, 611 North Overland in Burley and 291 Pole Line Road in Twin Falls. What gracious, wonderful people they have been as hosts for our Zeb's Lunch Bunch every single month. And by the way, this month's Lunch Bunch, as I take a look at my calendar, will be on January the 25th. Write that down on your calendar, please. January 25th, Lunch Bunch at Denny's. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, anytime, all the time. Wonderful, great menu selections and wonderful people at America's Diner. Denny's Restaurant, 611 North Overland in Burley. I have a couple of items that I want to get into this morning, one of which is very personal to me. And when I heard about this story yesterday, I was absolutely livid. And it was from a text or an email, I'm not sure which one, from a so-called viewer that texted Janice Dean at Fox News. She is the senior meteorologist at Fox News, and a viewer was criticizing her because of her legs. Yes, some of the emails that came in were absolutely tearing her apart and said that on TV she had fat and unflattering legs and basically should cover them up. Now, if you didn't know this about Janice Dean, I'm going to tell you this. She has MS, and she's on heavy medication for MS. And she is very, very thankful for the strong legs that she has to walk and stand on for now, for as long as she can, due to a deteriorating condition with MS. Now, I'm going to read you this response from the callers, or the viewer. And it says, and I'm going to skip over some of it, it says, please stop allowing Fox to dress you in those shorter skirts. They are not flattering on you. Your legs are distracting every time you walk on screen. You know, that last sentence really, really hit home to me. And I'm going to tell you why right after I do these next two commercials. Stay tuned. Don't forget our friends at Pomerell Place. Later on this morning, we are going to be talking to Holly, as a matter of fact. And I just want to tell you that seniors, you don't have to live alone, basically in fear of falling or not having the right nutrition or missing your medication. No. Please contact Pomerell Place. It's a place that offers the ability for seniors to maintain their independence both safely and comfortably. Find out more. Call them, 677-8212. Pomerell Place, a place for senior living located at 1301 Bennett Street in Burley. And later on this morning, I think at 10:23, we're going to have Holly Rowe on our program, and I'm looking forward to it. Going to be really interesting. Calls welcome, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. I'll give you my response to the situation with Janice Dean in just a moment. Dino's Septic Service in Rupert, and they recently purchased Dennis Dockstedter's pumping service. I'll tell you what, they are really good folks. They care, they're diligent, they're very trustworthy, and they're fast, fair, and friendly. All of this and more at Dino's Septic Service in Rupert. Septic tanks pumped and septic inspections, liquid waste removal. Oh, my goodness. They do the job that you and I don't want to do. That's right, and they do it very well. Call them at 436-6526 or in Burley, 678-1638. Dino's Septic Service in Rupert, serving you. Caller, good morning, and thank you for your call.
You're welcome, sir. That deal with Janice Dean, there's one way I look at it. Anybody out there with no flaws can throw the first stone. Just like anybody with no sins can cast the first stone.
Well, Doug, I'm going to share with you and the audience this situation. Something similar happened to me about 15, 16 years ago. And I'll tell you what happened. A person came up to me and said, after I had been going back and forth on a stage for a charity fundraiser, I'm not going to give any locations or anything. I just want to keep it very big for here right now. But a person came up to me after the event and he said the basic following. Do you know how ridiculous you look parading out in front of the audience? What are you trying to do? Get sympathy on your crutches? And I've got to tell you that I had to be restrained, and I'm not proud of this. I absolutely want to tear into this particular person because that just showed the inhuman, uncaring, and absolutely insane attitude of some people. And people with physical challenges, and I'm not putting myself to the forefront, but I'm talking primarily about Janice Dean this morning. People with physical challenges, they should be proud of who they are and what they do and how they do it. And to the others and naysayers that would want to say something so completely out of bounds, stay out of the way.
Exactly. Just like I say, if you don't have any flaws, then go ahead and cast the first stone. Everybody has flaws.
When I heard this about Janice Dean and the criticism of her legs, and, you know, the people that have physical challenges in this world, and I don't care if they're in a wheelchair, I don't care if they're on crutches, I don't care what the situation might be. I don't think anybody is asking for rule changes. We just want you to be respectful and play by the rules.
Exactly. Like the person for their heart and their character, not their physical appearance.
You know, I don't care whether you've lost a leg or you have crippled legs, arms, maybe a disfiguration. I don't think I've run across hardly anyone of that nature that is asking for sympathy. They're just asking for fairness.
Exactly. Hey, I read something today, and I want to share it with everybody. And it says, every time you see stories about millions of Americans receiving raises and bonuses due to Trump's tax cut, remember this: not a single Democrat voted for it.
That's right. I hope...
Great.
I'll tell you what I hope. And here's a fear that I have. I was talking to a good friend before the program this morning. And there are many, many Democrats. I'm kind of worried about this retirement of Republicans. And going into the midterms in 18 and like Isa in California, I think he's done a good job. He's retiring. Many, many, many more. I am afraid that they're opening a door or maybe a window to let the Democrats maybe have a power play. I'm kind of concerned about this, aren't you?
Just a little. I am. But there's a lot of good Republicans out there. And think of this. Come November, after we've had about 9 months of this new tax plan, and people are seeing the economy and seeing this money in their pocket, there's a lot of people out there that voted Democrat are going, hey, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Look what the Republicans did. Not a Democrat voted for this. If I put a Democrat back in there, we're going to go back, and I'm going to lose all this.
I was listening to a story at 4:30 this morning. I don't know if you were up. I don't know if you heard it. But it was a story about how and they didn't mention names, but they were saying there is a lot of divisiveness going on behind the scenes in the Democratic Party by those that want only destruction, mutilation, and complete derision to go on in the Democratic Party against Trump and the Republican Party. And then there are those on the other side of the Democratic Party that are saying enough is enough. Let's get something done for our constituents. So right there, the threads are unraveling, if you will, in the Democratic Party.
Yes, they are. Yeah, and did you get a chance to look at that video I sent yesterday?
You know, I sat down, and you don't know my life here at my office, but it involves having 1 or 2 phones stuck in my ear all the time. And I started, and then all of a sudden I had a phone call on the house phone line and the office phone line, and then also my cell phone line. And sometimes I'd like to take both phones, dig a big hole, bury them, and see how they're going to get answered.
I understand.
Oh, man. I did not. I'm sorry.
In a nutshell, that Dan Bon Jovi, his takeaway from Dianne Feinstein leaking the transcript,
Oh, well, wait a minute. Don't be harsh. She had a cold.
Well, that's what she said.
Yeah.
But his takeaway from it is, if you, like, you're in a court and you've got witnesses, all the witnesses are not in that courtroom.
That's exactly the point.
They're sitting outside, so they don't hear what this witness says.
Amen.
His comment was the reason she released that is so every other witness that goes in front of that board knows the answer.
Yeah, it's a jaded testimony. It's a foregone conclusion that they're going to be up there telling the truth, only the truth, and they're going to tell it from their viewpoint. But when you hear something that jades your thinking on a certain issue, you're going to possibly say and go along with the crowd.
Exactly. So that, and I think that is more the reason than a cold or anything else.
Oh, listen, don't give me this garbage. I'm not talking about you, Doug, but don't give me the garbage. I got a cold, and I wasn't thinking very well. I was on cold tablets, and they must have affected my brain. I'll tell you what's affected her brain, being a doggone Democrat.
Very true. Yeah, I've realized that most politicians and most all Democrats, and no offense, Keith, but they're like car salesmen. When their lips are moving, they're not telling you the truth.
Well, I've lost any potentiality on that one. Anyway, thank you, Dougie, for ruining a lot of good advertising proposals. Thank you.
This is my opinion. This is not the opinion of the host of the show.
All right, hey, man, I got to run. I should have ran 30 seconds ago. Anyway, take care of yourself. Thank you.
You bet. Hey,
okay.
Take care of our seniors, guys. Let's do what we can.
Thanks, Doug. Oh, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. Don't forget Burley Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation. We talk about them a lot because they are the best at what they do, helping you get back to being you. Oh, the ice and the snow and the sludge and everything. You got to be careful out there. I know we like to get up in the morning early, about maybe 5:30, and go out and walk. Woo! Gotta watch where you're going at that time of the day. You don't hit that ice and go, and it's all over. So if you do take a little spill and you got a sprain or a strain or you're recovering from surgery or whatever, give them a call and stop over. They can help you. Nick Greenwell and all the great physical therapists there at Burley Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation, 1263 Bennett Avenue, Suite 2 in Burley. The number to call, 678-1191. You call them today. All right, give me a jingle on the landline, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. I couldn't believe that a politician that has been in front of the cameras and the microphone so many times would come out and say, I had a cold. I've got a cold, and I can't think straight. That's why I released those documents. I just think the cold medicine must have affected my mind. Oh, my. Come on. Calls are welcome, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. Today's Thursday, and I want you to call in, doggone, make us feel good before the end of the weekend. And I really value your opinion, so give us a jingle. I want to talk to you real quick about the urgent cares. And I am so blessed. Alex and Kyle and everybody else has been so helpful to you, your families, your businesses, and they're trying to provide health care at a much more economical rate. Absolutely. Urgent Care of Twin Falls, Jerome, and Riverview in Burley, they can take care of 96% of all your health care needs. And you get treated, not seated. No appointment needed. You just walk in, open 7 days a week with extended hours, and they always have a qualified provider on staff. I urge you, excuse me, I choked to death on that glass of water. I urge you to get a hold of Riverview Urgent Care at 382 North Overland in Burley and Urgent Care of Jerome, 133 West Avenue A, and Urgent Care of Twin Falls, 2392 Addison Avenue East in Twin. Serving you, your family, and your businesses, the Urgent Care. Good morning, you're on the air.
Good morning, Jeb.
Hello, Joe.
I want to thank you for the note you put out about the lunch I was buying last week. At the seniors, I got 2 new people.
Well, good.
And tomorrow is Friday, and we're having roast beef and the trimmings. And I'm putting out the offer again. I'm buying lunch for the first one that checks in at the Burley Senior Center.
Okay.
On South Overland.
Well, Joe, that is extremely kind of you, and I hope that maybe 50 people show up that are brand spanking new, and then you're really in a dilemma.
I'll handle it. Thank you. I appreciate all that you do for the community.
Joe, you're a special man, and I appreciate you and have the utmost respect. Thank you so much.
Make sure and get me somebody there tomorrow for lunch.
All right.
I'm buying.
Joe Taylor said he's going to buy to a new person to come over to the senior center, the senior junction tomorrow at noon. He'll buy the first one that walks up and says, "Hey, I'm brand new here," and he'll buy your lunch. You stop over.
Somebody between 21 and 100.
Boy, that kind of narrows it down a little bit, doesn't it, Joe?
Have a good one.
All right. Thank you. 21 to 100. I like that. There you go. Joe Taylor. There's another man. There's another man that has overcome obstacles to be highly successful and extremely respected. Right there, Joe Taylor. Calls are welcome, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. I got to chuckle a little bit when I say this next story because it just shows you what a pit of snakes are back in Washington, D.C., Huma Abedin was married, well, let me back up. I'm not phrasing that right. Is still married to her, and I'm going to say this tongue-in-cheek, photogenic husband, Anthony Weiner. Can't help it. I had to throw that in. Well, they may not divorce. And you're probably sitting there saying to yourself, well, gee, did the love bug still bite them and they decided that maybe they should stay together and their love's been rekindled? No, it's not that at all. Because right now, with all the trouble with the emails and the servers and the classified information and Huma Abedin working for Hillary Clinton, and quite frankly, there was a whole bunch of trouble in River City, and the feds may reinvestigate the whole 9 yards again, and there may be charges, federal charges, felonious charges filed against Huma Abedin and Anthony Weiner for the convenience of not having to testify against each other. They have decided not to sign the divorce papers and for their own necks stay together. I'll tell you what, we're not going to testify. Well, I don't want you to testify against me, and I don't want you to testify against me, so we'll stay married. Calls are welcome, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. Doesn't that just make you feel warm and fuzzy that love is still in the air? Especially if you got federal prosecutors looking at you. Let's see what else have we got here. Calls welcome, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. I want to remind everybody again that Monday at 10:06, I have an exclusive interview with Ryan Bundy from the Bundy family down in Nevada. And we have got all the outlying things taken care of. We've got him all set to come on the air via the telephone this next Monday. Hope the phone lines work. And we'll have that exclusive interview. It's going to be on all the way from 10:06 Monday. And I'm going to try to eliminate as many of the breaks as possible. And we're going to have him on till just before 11 o'clock on Monday. And that's Ryan Bundy, so don't miss that. Want to say thank you to Barry Equipment and Rental. Oh, before I do, come on, callers, get out of bed, dial my number, and give us a jingle on the landline, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. Like to hear from you. Barry Equipment and Rental and 3 locations to serve you. South Lincoln in Jerome, 159 West Highway 30 in Burley, and Addison Avenue West in Twin Falls. Now, they do have all the equipment you need to get the job done right. And equipment rentals, retail equipment sales, and a whole great big corral full of Bobcat excavators, new and used, for sale or rent, all the shapes and the sizes, itty-bitty ones up to great big dudes. Hey, they've got it all for you, and you can stop in at Berry Equipment and Rental, sales, service, and parts for what you need. Once again, South Lincoln in Jerome, Addison Avenue West in Twin Falls, and 159 West Highway 30 in Burley. Berry Equipment and Rental. All right, give me a jingle, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. I have a question for you folks out here. And I know that there's some people that don't agree with me right here in this Magic Valley. That's okay. That's okay. But what are your feelings about the legalization of marijuana and the relaxing of standards against people using it? I am going to be very adamant. I don't care if somebody gets mad at me or not. I think we should not open the door for a gateway drug to be legal. I think we should crack down even harder. I talked to a person that is a neighbor of Frosty Woldridge's back in Colorado, that's in the Colorado State Police. And they are adamant that they are very, very afraid about more drivers that are going to be disoriented by the use of marijuana, and it's going to be in what they claim might be epidemic proportions, more so than drinking alcohol. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Yeah, Zeb, I'm absolutely 100% opposed to marijuana being legalized in any way. I think, if anything, they ought to make the punishment 100 times more severe. I think it's the worst gateway drug in the world.
What are we telling our kids and our grandkids by the lessening and the being lax on drugs? Oh, well, this drug's not that bad. You can go ahead and use it, you know. And then there are those, Jerry, that would say, okay, if you're going to come down on marijuana, then you should also come down on hard liquor. Nobody can have a drink of wine. Nobody can have a drink of anything. Well, how would you respond to that?
Hard liquor is legal. Beer is legal. There's a reason for it. Coffee is legal. Tea is legal. Milk is legal. There's a reason for it. Marijuana is illegal. It should be illegal. It's a terrible, 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 horrible drug, and it needs to be illegal 100%.
Well, I'm glad to hear you call, and I know that you and I are on the same page, and I appreciate that. I just think that by opening the door up for gateway drugs to our young people, and they have a confused look on their face, and they say, well, gee, all my life you've told me not to do this, and now it's legal? Gee, how come? And it's just going to cause a lot of trouble.
Well, I feel the same way. I'm absolutely opposed to it. I've been opposed to it all my life, and I'm not going to change.
Well, Jerry,
you have a wonderful day. May the Lord bless.
He already has with friends like you. Thank you, Jerry. I appreciate it. Thank you. There is an absolute no. And what are your thoughts on this? You know, little by little, whether it's Oregon, whether it is New York, or anywhere around the country, there seems to be a big push to legalize marijuana. I don't care what anybody says. You don't know what you're talking about. You're an old fogey. You got to get in touch with the times. I don't want to change. I've got certain things that I stand for and certain things that I stand against. And I'm certainly not going to change and be a willow in the wind. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
You know something, Zeb? This pot situation, if it's legal, and you have irresponsible parents, you can call them that, they just happen to be able to reproduce is about all it amounts to, and then they're stuck with the residual evidence, God forbid, but they lay around the house and they're on welfare and they're drinking and laying around. They got a TV, a phone. Somebody's paying their bills, their rent, their heat.
Well, wait a minute, Randy.
And somehow they're managing to squeeze out some to be able to go buy some dope. Maybe they even have some sort of medical. It's a facade, but they've got some sort of help with a medical problem or something.
Randy, what you said, Randy, just a minute. Let me interject something here, and I know maybe you saw this same individual. When Denver became kind of a pot capital of the West when they legalized it and everything, I remember vividly on a news report, they had this one guy, and they interviewed him, and they said, "Where are you from?" And he said, "Albuquerque, New Mexico." And they said, "What are you doing up here?" "I can come up here to Denver. I can get high. I can lay on the park lawn, and I can enjoy life." And I thought, what a deadbeat, worthless son of a gun that we, the taxpayers, are supporting.
Well, they're everywhere, and across this West Coast, you just have to go there, and you can't go to some place where there is where it's a tourist attraction. You got to go down through the town, and you got to get out into where the real world is. Like I said, downtown Los Angeles, there's upwards of 30,000 homeless, and guess what? Most of them are. They are drug addicts.
Yeah.
To some extent.
Yeah.
And they're laying there, and like I've said before, this is a graphic thing, but this is the way it is. And we don't need it here in Idaho. We don't need it in Boise. But they have to take the water truck with the spray nozzle also to clean up the mess.
Yeah.
And you and I know what we're talking about. These people don't do anything. They're so dysfunctional that my dog has got more manners.
Randy, let me ask you this question. For those in the audience that are saying that, well, we should legalize all drugs and it would eliminate the problem of all the money we spend on police and detectives and everything, because they say it's a war that we can't win, the war on drugs. And I say, if we have a society that all of a sudden caves in and says, okay, anything goes, this society goes, and our country, for all of its greatness, will turn into a complete cesspool.
Well, Colorado has numerous problems since they've legalized pot, and whether or not it's wrecks, social problems, problems at home. Like I say, if you're smoking dope in front of your child from the day they're born, and you get away with it, what do you think your child's going to be?
Yeah.
The poor child never had a chance and never will have a chance. When you're dependent on society to help you, or you're physically unable to perform any kind of work, they are a drag on our society, and we've already got enough of this. Somebody's got to do the work so we can keep our economy roaring, because that's the only thing that's going to save the people and the republic.
What would you do, give me a short answer on this, because I've got to get the weather in, Randy, but as an employer, I would imagine, and I've heard many employers tell me this, and I'm not going to name any names or any kind of employment, but I've had many, many employers tell me it's so hard to find decent people to go to work for them today because they can't pass the drug test.
Well, not only that, they can't do that, but they have no desire to work.
That's right.
They have no reason, apparently. Whatever they know, I don't know about welfare. I wouldn't darken the door of the welfare office and beg for nothing. And my children, I have 11 kids, and they're all functionally working right now. They're out producing, and thank God. And if my children were exposing my grandchildren to something other than a good, respectable home, there might be some real problems between me and my own children.
Absolutely.
I'm not going to let them
Yep.
do it to my grandchildren.
Absolutely. Hey, man, I appreciate your call as always. Thank you, and God bless you, Randy. I appreciate
looking forward to listening to the Bundy interview, and I think people need to spread the word about this around so Magic Valley, South Central here can listen to this program, because it's not going to be on anywhere else. It's not going to be in Idaho Falls. It's not going to be in Boise. It's going to be here. And that's a very important interview, because the travesty of justice that was occurring, thank God we have solved that with this at least.
I appreciate you, Randy. Thank you so much, and the best to you and your family. Thank you. Thank you. Caller number 2, I'm going to ask you to sit there exactly 60 seconds and sit back, and I'll be right with you. I got to get a weather forecast on quickly, sponsored by Mount Harrison Audiology and Hearing Aids. And, of course, they're located right behind the Minidoka Hospital, across from the emergency room. And the number to call, Dr. Christine Pickup, and get a hearing screening. She can help. She will help you with your hearing at 312-0957. Right now, here's Gina with the weather.
Expect a few more showers off and on throughout the day. Good Thursday morning. Here is your weather for Zeb at the Ranch. Yes, some isolated rain and or snow showers off and on throughout the day. Looking at mostly cloudy skies. A little bit on the breezy side as well. Winds out of the southwest by around 10 miles an hour. Gusts possible as high as 20 miles an hour. High of 44 is what we're looking at tonight. Scattered snow showers before midnight. Mostly cloudy skies. Going to be on the breezy side. Low right near 35. Tomorrow going to be nice. Partly sunny skies. High of 43 on the breezy side as well. Partly cloudy and 25 for tomorrow night. Saturday, mostly sunny skies, high of 40, and Sunday, mostly sunny and a high of 41. You have a good one. That's your weather for Zeb at the Ranch.
Thank you, Gina. Brought to you by Mount Harrison Audiology and Hearing Aids. This lady, Dr. Christine Pickup, knows sound. She's been an audiology doctor for over 10 years, and if you have hearing problems, she can find the problem and help the problem. Call her today, 312-0957. I'll be over there later on this afternoon, as a matter of fact. Mount Harrison Audiology and Hearing Aids. Caller, good morning. You're on the air. And they are backing up. Evidently, come on, call back if you would, please. I'd love to hear from you. And give us your opinions on what we've talked about. I don't want to live in a society where everybody is stoned out of their mind or whatever and walking around, hey, man, how you doing? It scares me. It scares me, the laxity that's going on in our society. Oh, well, this is an old stodgy rule. We better get rid of it. Oh, that's an old law. That's archaic. We don't need that anymore. Wait a minute. I'm a very old conservative that believes those laws were put in place for an obviously good reason. And that's to guide social engineering, if you will. I hate to use that word, but it's true. To keep people on the straight and narrow and with strong moral and family values. The more we weaken it and lessen it, we become a society of chaos. Your thoughts, give me a call, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. I was looking in the paper, the USA Today yesterday, and the USA Today is one of the biggest crybaby newspapers in the United States with extremely strong liberal bent. Anything to the left, they stand in favor of. And on the front page of their paper, they had a headline that said, "The American Dream Darkens Across the United States for Salvadorans." And I thought, what? So I started reading this article, and it was all a crybaby story about over 200,000 El Salvadorans that came to this country after those earthquakes in 2001. They were granted what was called a temporary, I'll say it again, class, temporary legal status to come to the United States until they could get their house, their land, their country, and themselves in order, and then go home. Go home. Well, now they are all upset because their temporary status has expired And they're claiming foul because now they're being told they have to go home. Which, wait a minute. Why in the world should we as taxpayers take anybody and everybody in for whatever period, and if they're here on a temporary basis, pretty soon the welcome wears out and you got to take care of yourself, have self-responsibility, go home. But they're fighting this. And this paper, the USA Today, is coming out, and they're just trying to break our hearts and say thousands of families will worry about being torn apart because of this callous and irrational decision to send them back home. Wait! 2001. 2018. 17 years of preparation to maybe get your house in order and your life in order to go back to your homeland? You knew when you came here it was a temporary status. Don't give me the teary-eyed look with a handkerchief in your hand that all of a sudden we got to go home. That's a bunch of malarkey. I almost said something else. Supporters of Donald Trump's move, by the way, this was also moved about through Bush and Obama, but neither one of those guys did anything. They should have, but they kind of wiped it under the carpet. Supporters, and I'm reading from the paper itself, supporters of Trump's move noted that the program was meant to be temporary when it was created by Congress in 1990 to allow foreigners to remain in the United States for a short time during armed conflicts, natural disasters, or other extraordinary circumstances in their home countries. Key words, short time. 17 years is not a short time. Get your house in order and take care of yourself. Wow. Okay, let's not forget our number one, numero uno big sponsor, and that's, of course, your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers. And yesterday, a good friend of mine and I were talking about the weather and how I absolutely hate snow and ice for obvious reasons. And I said, oh, man, I would love to see the snow up in the mountains and dry pavement here in the valley. I tell you what. But you know it's not going to happen. We're going to have more snow. We're going to have more ice. We're going to have more of the yuck and muck to get through, and your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers have got all the tires, all the traction tires to get you safely through all the bad stuff on the roads. And they've got all the tire chains, and, of course, they've got the best in brake service and front-end alignment, shocks and struts. And one thing I want to mention, too, is they've got the best in batteries. You know, we're going to see colder temperatures. Oh, yeah. You're going to walk out the door and go, woo, I'm going back in, get a bandana and a hooded sweatshirt. And with that in mind, maybe your car's not going to turn over right away. Maybe your battery's just not that good anymore. Well, have it checked, and then they've got all the batteries for you at all 7 locations of your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers. Lane and Rupert, Dave on Blue Lakes and Twin, Mike and Buell, Mike and Jerome, the Twist family in Paul, Daniel on Poline in Twin Falls, and, of course, my buddy Randy on Overland in Burley. Your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers. You stop in and you see them today. One of the other things I want to quickly mention, I don't know how they get away with this. The legislative session in Vermont, you know, good old wild-haired Bernie Sanders' home state, the legislature in Vermont, basically in adjacent story to what we were talking about just a few moments ago, they said, yes, we're going to legalize pot. Whoa! Stop for a minute. They didn't even have the public and the voters and the taxpayers in the state of Vermont vote on it. I mean, why are many states, I just don't understand this, somebody help me on this. Why are so many states, Vermont, Colorado, Oregon, why are they so heck bent on legalizing things that have been proven to be a destructive force in our society? I'm stumped on this one. I am really stumped. Give me a call and let me know. Once again, a reminder, A couple of things coming up next week that I think are really, really important. I'll tell you quickly. Monday, we have an exclusive interview with Ryan Bundy of the Bundy family from Nevada. Don't miss it, 10:06 for a full hour segment. Then, on Tuesday, we are going to start our brand new 2018 Idaho Legislative Update, sponsored by some really good people, Handy Truck Lines. Clay and the crew, I really appreciate them. And so those are just a couple of the big changes that will be coming up this next week that you should be aware of and be tuned into, okay? Next hour, we've got the Chamber of Commerce report with Kyla. And then at 9:18, we're going to visit with a really, really good friend of ours, and that's Joel Heward with Hanson Mortuary. 9:30, a lot of the listeners' favorite out there, Rita Ramsey, is going to be on the phone. We've got other segments coming up for the rest of the day. And at 10:30, a big segment with, I think, the lady that knows more about Obamacare and how it's hurt us than anybody else, and that's Dr. Elena George from Atlanta, Georgia. Don't miss it. I'll be back in 7, Zeb at the Ranch. Oh, morning. And it's been raining again. Oh, my goodness sake. Zeb Bell, Zeb at the Ranch. And welcome to our second hour on a Thursday. And, of course, we're brought to you by our major sponsor, your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers. All 7 locations serving you. Stop in and see them today. And some of our great advertisers like Burley Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation. Hello, Nick and the crew at 1263 Bennett Avenue, Suite 2 in Burley. Good people. Hey, by the way, too, before we go to the chamber report, I want to remind you about Ark Animal Hospital. You know, Dr. Bill and the crew, they really take care of your animals. Now, whether you've got little bitty kitty cats, like I've said many times, or puppy dogs, or cows, roping steers, horses, they are a mixed animal practice, meaning big or small, they love them all and can take care of them all. And I'm really an advocate of taking care of animals and giving them the best veterinary care when needed. And they do a great job over at Ark Animal Hospital, 750 21st Street, near Connection Credit Union in Heyburn. The number to call, 678-1177. And remember this. They, at Ark Animal Hospital, have the warm hearts for the cold noses. I love that. Oh, and by the way, too, I want to remind you, before we go over the river and through the woods to Mini-Cash Chamber of Commerce we go, as I almost knocked the microphone over, don't forget Let's Ride, 270 Highway 24 between Rupert and the World. They've got lots and lots of sale items going on over there right now. I mean, they are ready for more snow for the snowmobiles, and then they're also telling you to get ready for spring with the four-wheelers and the side-by-sides and all the accessories. And don't forget, if something needs repair work, they have got the best doggone service department around waiting to serve you. Let's ride. 270 Highway 24 between Rupert and the World. It's true. This is where the fun is sold. Right now, back from Arizona, I think, and ready to talk to us this morning, Kyla from the Mini-Cash Chamber of Commerce. Good morning.
Good morning, Zeb. Thanks so much for having us on your show again. How are you?
Oh, peachy. And I'll bet you have a suntan or / sunburn and are ready to tell us all about Tucson, Arizona.
Well, we did just get back from Tucson, Arizona. We were there for the Institute of Organizational Management put on by the U.S. Chambers of Commerce. And I wish I had a suntan. We were mostly in air-conditioned buildings doing a lot of work, and I actually returned with whatever that crud is that's going around.
Oh, my.
I'm glad we're talking by phone today, so I don't want to get you sick.
You know, I tell you what, a lot of that, Kyla, I'm talking to an expert that knows all about this sickness going around. They are blaming a lot of this flu or symptomatic problems from the flu on airline travel.
Oh, I believe it. I totally believe it. We had a wonderful time in Tucson. You know, we watched Kyle Tarbett from the Twin Falls Chamber graduate from the 4-year program. Myself and Shaylee Willis, our membership services coordinator, was there. We had an opportunity to really talked to different chambers of commerces, and I talked to you about some of the associations that were there from all over the country, oil and gas industry, the Chain Stores of America industry. Who knew they had an association that did that, first of all? Pharmaceutical companies, et cetera. It was a lot of fun, a lot of great networking, and a lot of great ideas. And but coming back, our flights got canceled and rebooked about 3 times just to get from Tucson to Phoenix.
Oh my!
And then and then finally, when we got to Phoenix, there was a fog something going on in Salt Lake City, and so that lifted enough that we could finally get into Salt Lake City. But I think we were up from about 5 a.m. on Sunday till about 3 a.m. on Monday, and I think that's what finally did me in.
You mean to tell me that it took that? You could have driven from Tucson to here.
We're considering it now at this rate because that's a long time to sit in an airport.
Oh, and I feel your pain because I've been stranded I bet you I've been stranded 100 times in my career of traveling all over the country, and there is nothing that is absolutely more agonizing than sitting in a concourse just wishing, praying, and hoping.
Yeah, and so, you try to do your best to stay hydrated and, wash your hands a lot and all that kind of stuff. But the truth is you're in a big tube with a bunch of other people flying in the air with no fresh air.
Well, now that we've destroyed any chance of having the airline sponsor my program, go ahead.
I apologize. They're a wonderful way to travel, very safe, safest way to travel. So there you go. And we will probably fly again. I have no doubt about that. But, I think next time we might have to, if we could maybe do the rental car from Tucson to Phoenix and then fly out of Phoenix.
Yeah,
maybe
absolutely.
That's going to be the way to go. So we'll see. But it was a great conference, and we got a lot of ideas, and we have a lot of stuff coming down the pipe here with the Chamber of Commerce. So first of all, today at noon is our monthly Chamber Luncheon, and we are very excited that it's going to be at Intermountain Cassia Regional Hospital right there in Burley. It's going to be in the cafeteria, and so you can access that either going through the hospital or going around the back. We look forward to seeing a bunch of folks there. Ben Smalley, who was recently hired, I think about a year ago, as the new hospital administrator, will be there, and they have a lot of exciting things that are happening at that hospital. So we'd love to see everybody there, and I can confirm for you that, yes, Jell-O is on the luncheon menu for today, but it's going to be a lot of fun, and it'll be delicious. And then we also have our annual installation banquet coming up February 1st. Tickets are on sale for that. So please give us a call. We have one price for members and one price for guests. And we are accepting nominations. We have had several turned in. For the awards this year, I just want to talk quickly about that. We have Employee of the Year, Boss of the Year, if you want to get some brownie points, I guess. We have Business of the Year. We have Community Volunteer of the Year, which can be anybody doing something fantastic in our community, and then Distinguished Agricultural Leadership Award. And we've had a lot of interest on that one. So we really would like you to submit your stuff to the Chamber. You can walk it in, just write it on a piece of paper who it is and why, or you can email us here at president@minnecassiachamber.com.
Wow. Even with a cold, you did that so eloquently.
Oh, my goodness. I hope so. I'm just trying not to cough over the phone, but thanks. Thank you.
No, everything going on in this area. And you might mention again that banquet. What about the tickets? Say that again if you would.
Oh, okay. Well, there's let's see, I think it's $25 for members and $35 for guests.
Okay.
So if a chamber member is bringing you, then that's up to them to purchase the tickets. But we've had people sometimes attend from outside the chamber world. They haven't been a member. They want to come see what's going on. It's a really, really fun night. And it's February 1st. It's a Thursday. It'll be over at the Best Western Convention Center in Burley. And it's going to be a great menu, and we just would hope to see you there. We'll be honoring our outgoing board members who have served for 6 years, and then we'll be welcoming the new incoming board members, as well as honoring members of our community.
Okay, well, it sounds like it's going to be a fun thing. I've got about a minute and a half left here. Anything else on the horizon that we should be aware of?
Yes, so Chamber Legislative Days are happening in Boise January 22nd and 23rd, and we will be headed up to that to go see our lawmakers and check everything out that's going on, meet with House Speaker Bedke and Senator Anthon and Representative Fred Wood from our area, and that's going to be exciting. I think it's good. We're taking our leadership class from the Chamber up there actually this year so that they can see Governor Otters. He's going to address us with a breakfast for all the chambers. I'm sure that will be highly entertaining, as this is his final go-round at this event.
When you go to a breakfast like that, I mean, what are the expectations of having a wonderful, nutritious, delicious meal, or is it the same old rubber eggs and toast?
I'd say it's, let's see, what is the joke? We say it's eggs, some sort of meat, I guess. But I don't know, it's at the Grove Hotel, so they actually do a really nice job.
Okay.
But I am very anxious to hear what Governor Otter will have to say, because in many respects this is his last hurrah. And he does not, if anybody knows the governor or hears him speak, he tends not to hold anything back, and I don't expect him to at this breakfast either. So it'll be fun to hear what he has to say about the state and things that are going on, and maybe even his future plans. So that will be good. If anybody listened to his State of the State, there's a lot going on. This is an important year for elections, and we do have some big news coming up from the chamber. I'll probably talk about that next week in terms of the governor's election and some things we're going to do here.
I just got an email from that hotel, and they said that the bill of fare for that breakfast is oatmeal.
Okay, oatmeal it is. At least it's not chamber chicken, so okay. I can live with that. That's fine.
Tell us all the many, many ways they can get a hold of the chamber, and what are your hours over there?
It is 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. Do give us a call. We've got a couple people out sick, as you can imagine right now. So give us a call if you absolutely need something, just to make sure that we are covering, because sometimes people do need to go eat some lunch, and we hope people would be patient with us for that. And then also you can call us at 208-679-4793, or simply get on our website, MinneKeshechamber.com.
There you go. Go get a box of napkins, sit in the corner, and sneeze.
Okay. Thank you, Zach.
See you later, Kyla. All right, bye-bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Minnecashi Chamber of Commerce. Wonderful, wonderful people serving you. I mean that. Really good folks. Let me see what else have I got to get in here. We're going to be talking to a dial tone in just a minute. In just a few minutes, we're going to have Joel Heward on our program. Stand by for that. But I want to remind you about our friends over in Rupert on Highway 24, Cameron and Siemens Insurance. Life insurance, health insurance, retirement planning, employee benefits. I mean, they care. And they really, really are devoted to serving you, getting the information and the policies you need. You get a hold of them today. Cameron and Siemens Insurance, Highway 24 in Rupert. The number to call, make an appointment. You take the first step, and they will take the rest. 436-4424. That number again, 436-4424. Cameron and Siemens Insurance. Yep, absolutely the professionals. Right now, we're going to jump on down the phone line, and we're going to get a chance to visit with a man that absolutely, if we all had his personality, and we all wore a smile as much as he did, why, we'd all be a happier society. Good morning, Joel Heward with Hanson Mortuary. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you guys this morning?
I'm just going to call you Mr. Smile.
Well, I've been called worse.
No. I mean that in total respect, Joel. I love your personality and the way you meet and greet people, and it just makes everybody feel better. One of the things that you and I have talked about in the past, and I wanted to talk to you about this morning, is that all of us are going to live forever. None of us are going to face any hardships or going to a funeral parlor. Life is going to be perfect, but it doesn't really work that way, does it?
Well, we haven't found a way yet, but, like what we do is help you through when that doesn't work out. So, yeah, we're there to take you through that journey, and the families that are experience the loss of someone they love through that journey, and help them make all the necessary